Welcome to Mathic, where we help people fear less, build confidence, solve problems. All by explaining fundamental principles of calculation, so you don't feel awkward whenever you need to deal with any number or numerical task. Please welcome to part 3 of multiplication of single-digit numbers. In part 1, we explained what the multiplication is, why is it helpful, and we explored 4 tools that will help us with multiplication. In part 2, we went through multiplication by 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I strongly recommend you going through part 1 and part 2 videos first, so that you have solid understanding of the basics, upon which we will build now. Let's move on. This video will focus on multiplication by 6, 7, 8 and 9. We are now getting into more advanced math zone and we will continue using our multiplication tools. We will use 10 by 10 table for visualization. We will think about money rather than numbers. And we will draw an imaginary line to get a clearer understanding of where our answer might lie. The most important tool that we will leverage on are the properties of numbers. As we are about to multiply larger numbers, we do not want to do it by memorizing. But we will rather think about how the numbers could be split, or what is their proximity to number 10 so that we can calculate in more steps. Let's move on to multiplication by 6. We can always help ourselves with splitting 6 into 3 plus 3 and calculating in 2 steps. When multiplying 3 times 6, that would translate into multiplying 3 times 3 in step 1 and 3 times 3 in step 2. The result will be sum of these two numbers. 6 times 6, we can split 6 into 3 plus 3 and calculate 6 times 3 plus 6 times 3, that is 18 plus 18. Or we can split 6 into 5 plus 1, multiplying 6 times 5 first and adding 6 times 1 on top, that is 30 plus 6. This approach seems to be simpler here. 7 times 6? Again, there are several options that we can explore. We can split 6 into 3 plus 3 and calculate 7 times 3 plus 7 times 3, that is 21 plus 21. Or we can split 6 into 5 plus 1 and calculate 7 times 5 plus 7 times 1, that is 35 plus 7. Simplest method seems to be splitting 7 into 5 plus 2, multiplying 5 times 6 first and adding 2 times 6 on top, that is 30 plus 12. 8 times 6, here there are endless options that we can use for multiplication. Let's investigate the most common ones. We can split 8 into 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 and calculate in 4 steps, adding together 2 times 6, that is 12, 4 times. Or we can split 6 into 3 plus 3 and calculate 8 times 3 plus 8 times 3, that is 24 plus 24. Or we can leverage on proximity of number 8 to 10, as 8 is 10 less 2. We can multiply 10 times 6 first, subtracting 2 times 6 in second step, that is 60 less 12. 9 times 6? Whenever there is number 9 in multiplication, we strongly recommend realizing that 9 is 10 less 1. So we multiply 10 times 6 and then subtract 1 times 6 as a next step. So in this case, that is 60 less 6. 9 looks scary, but we love it. Multiplication by 7 could be the most confusing. 7 is a favorite number of many people, but in multiplication world, we like it only because we know that 7 is 5 plus 2. So we can do the multiplication in 2 steps, multiplying by 5 first and then multiplying by 2 as a second step. 4 times 7? We can play with number 7 and split it into 5 plus 2 and calculate 4 times 5 plus 4 times 2, that is 20 plus 8. Or, as 4 is the smaller number, it seems easier to split it into 2 plus 2 and use this two-step calculation process. Adding 2 times 7 plus 2 times 7, that is 14 plus 14. Simple as that. 5 times 7. 5 is one of our favorite numbers due to trick with fingers. So let's split 7 into 6 plus 1. How many fingers on one hand? 5. How many on 2 hands? 10. How many on 6 hands? 30. Let's add one more hand and we have the final result. 6 times 7. As 6 is 3 plus 3, we can calculate as 3 times 7 plus 3 times 7. That is 21 plus 21. As simple seems to be splitting 7 into 5 plus 2 and multiplying 6 times 5 plus 6 times 2, that is 30 plus 12. 7 times 7, let's use the same approach of splitting 7 into 5 plus 2. However, I admit that multiplying 7 times 5 and adding 7 times 2 does not seem to be too elegant calculation. 8 times 7. As 7 is 5 plus 2, we can calculate 8 times 5 plus 8 times 2, that is 40 plus 16. Alternatively, as 8 is 10 less 2, we can multiply 10 times 7 and then subtract 2 times 7, that is 70 less 14 to get the final result. 9 times 7. Our favorite number 9 is back. As 9 is 10 less 1, we multiply 10 times 7 first, subtracting 1 times 7 to get the magical 63. Multiplication by 8. With 8, there are 3 possibilities how to split the number. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 4 plus 4, or 10 minus 2. 4 times 8. As 4 is a smaller number, most simple solution seems to be splitting 4 into 2 plus 2. Calculating 2 times 8 plus 2 times 8. That is 16 plus 16 equals 32. Alternatively, we can split 8 into 4 plus 4 and calculate 4 times 4 plus 4 times 4. That is 16 plus 16 equals 32. 5 times 8. As 8 is 4 plus 4, we can multiply as 5 times 4 plus 5 times 4, which equals beautiful number 40. Or, as 8 is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, we can multiply in 4 steps, multiplying 5 times 2, 4 times. 6 times 8. 6 could be split into 3 plus 3, multiplying 3 times 8 plus 3 times 8. That is 24 plus 24. Or 8 could be split into 4 plus 4, multiplying 6 times 4 plus 6 times 4. That is 24 plus 24. Another simple solution seems to be splitting 8 into 5 plus 3. 6 times 5 plus 6 times 3 is 30 plus 18. 7 times 8. Here, let's use property of number 8 being 10 less 2. So 7 times 10 less 7 times 2 is 70 less 14. That is 56. 8 times 8. As 8 is 4 plus 4, we can multiply 8 times 4 plus 8 times 4. That is 32 plus 32 equals 64. Or, as 8 is 10 less 2, another simple solution could be multiplication of 10 times 8 less 2 times 8. That is 80 less 16 equals 64. 9 times 8. 9 is back. As 9 is 10 less 1, we will use no other approach but 10 times 8 less 1 times 8. 80 less 8 to get to the result of 72. Finally, multiplication by 9. Here we strongly recommend to leverage on property of number 9, being 10 less 1. So we always calculate in 2 steps, multiplying by 10 first and subtracting multiplication by 1 in second step. 4 times 9, that is 4 times 10, less 4 times 1. 5 times 9, that is 5 times 10, less 5 times 1. 6 times 9, that is 6 times 10, less 6 times 1. 7 times 9, that is 7 times 10, less 7 times 1. 8 times 9, that is 8 times 10, less 8 times 1. And finally, 9 times 9, that is 9 times 10, less 9 times 1. To sum up, whenever there is a need for multiplication, try to be visual first. Imagine how would the numbers look like in 10 by 10 table, which area will be filled, and how many squares there will be. Once you have done that, or you find this exercise to be useless, think of the properties of the numbers. How could the number be split? Or how far is the number from number 10 so that you can calculate in more steps? With that, thanks for watching and please subscribe to Mathic.com to get the latest training materials and information about our online courses.